Welcome back, fellas, to another day in the NBA. It is going to be Thursday, February 20th. I'm recording this on Wednesday. This is coming to you Wednesday night, so we're getting the plays early. And that's, again, because of All-Star break. We only had one game on today. Looks like a wash of a game, but we're going to keep it pushing. You know the schedule. I don't have the recap for you today, by the way, as well, obviously, because the game has not been played yet. I'm recording this early, so I don't have the recap, sadly, but we will be having all of the recap from Wednesday and Thursday on Friday's episode. So when Friday comes and we do the preview for Friday, the recaps will be there, so you guys won't be missing anything. And make sure you're in the Discord for all the plays early. All the plays come out as soon as I place them in bulk, so you'll have everything there as well. I'm not really just pure discretion. I'm using Pickett, but for more of my personal use now. We are no longer sponsored with them. So it's just for personal use now. I'm not really gonna have like posts on there. I'm just gonna track all my plays on there. It just syncs naturally. So if you do see just me not posting on there, that's why. If you want to still tell the plays on there, you can always do that. But on to everything else. We're taking all these plays on Underdog Fantasy as well as the book. So make sure if you're not on Underdog Fantasy, use code BDGE when you sign up. You'll get a free play of Victor Wembanyama to go over just half a point in these slates of games. So again, you get a free point, plus you get a match up to $1,000. So make sure you just take advantage. Now, heading on to the plays. Starting with the schedule. We have Boston and the Sixers. Joel Embiid is playing in this game, so it should be a pretty interesting one here. Boston at -8. I've been having some back and forth about it. I still think Boston hands it pretty well, but the Sixers with Joel Embiid could be sneaky competitive. I still think Boston comes away with it. The Sixers team is kind of in shambles right now, so I'm going to lean -8 there. The Grizzlies, and again, also all these lines might move by tonight. I don't know. This is just what I have as of right now. The Grizzlies and Pacers. Memphis -2. I love Memphis -2. I think they kind of blow out the Pacers here. I don't think this is going to be a particularly too close of a game. The Grizzlies defense just plays perfectly into the way the Pacers play. So I love that line there. The Bulls and the Knicks. Knicks -13.5. Yep, the Bulls suck. I love that for the Knicks. Cleveland and the Nets, same thing, same storyline there. -13 for Cleveland. The Nets are just in shambles, and they have right now 0 defense. So we'll see about that. Hawks, Magic play the Hawks really well, but this is going to be a very close game. I'm leaning Orlando -1.5. I do like the favorite here. I like a lot of favorites here today. And I like Orlando in this matchup. Everybody's pretty much back healthy. Jalen Suggs should be coming back within the next few days. I don't know if he plays this game yet, but he should be coming back very shortly. And if he plays in this game, I absolutely love Orlando then too. But we should be pretty good for the Orlando side there. Clippers and Milwaukee. I'm leaning the Clippers here at +1.5. Milwaukee, obviously, it's a solid matchup, but with Kawhi playing damn near full minutes, it's a hard matchup on Giannis. How well can everyone else step up in this game? That's going to be the question mark there. But I think the Clippers can cover here at +1.5. The Hornets on a back-to-back, cooked. Denver -30. Suns and Spurs, San Antonio, favored at 2.5. I like the Spurs here. I just think the Suns can fall apart at the second half of the season. They've been very, very wishy-washy through the first half of the season, and now we're getting to a back half where they barely made any moves where I feel like they really needed to. So I'm going to take the Spurs here at -2.5. They are rolling right now, and I'm going to take them to continue to roll into the second half of the season. Lakers on a back-to-back versus Portland. I like Portland to cover here. I think the Lakers win, but I think this is a really close game. Again, the Trailblazers have been playing teams very, very tough. You have to give them the respect they deserve. So I'm going to lean the cover there for the Trailblazers on the back-to-back. But wasting no time, let's hop just straight into the plays again. No recap. That'll be coming on Friday as I'm recording this earlier. Starting with Tyrese Haliburton to go under 2.5 3-pointers made at +102. Right, he's gone under this in 3 of the last 5 games this season. I get he's been kind of on a tear over the past 10 games, but I don't really believe that to be a sticking thing. He's gone under this in 6 or 7 games versus Memphis. Memphis allows the 3rd fewest 3-pointers made to opposing point guards over the last 7 games. They were one of the best teams in general against the three-point shot this season. And 7 of the last 10 point guards have gone under the three-pointers made mark versus Memphis. Not only that, but again, he's only averaging 7 3-point attempts over the past 10 games this season. I expect him to kind of stay around that mark. Again, maybe up to 9 at most. And he just has been so inconsistent from beyond the arc this year. He's either going to come out and bang 4 threes in the first quarter, and this play is going to be cooked right away, or he's going to come out and it's going to be absolute just chuck and pray type of feel for Tyrese Haliburton. I'm hoping for this latter half, as we've normally seen throughout this season. I think Tyrese is just facing a really, really tough matchup in this Grizzlies defense. Over the full course of the season, they rank top 7 versus point guards as well, and top 5 versus as a team against three-point shots. So again, I think Tyrese is going to have to work his way into the mid-range area if he wants to score a ton of points this game, which, I mean, his line is favored to go under. So I feel like I'm pretty comfortable in saying he's going to go under on his three-pointers as well. Heading to our next play, we're going to be taking Trae Young under 28.5 points. You get this at Bet365. I don't bet on there often, and I'm not actually betting on theirs. I got this at DK before DK moved the line. Now it's on Bet365, but I want to make sure it's transparent for where you guys are finding it. 28.5 feels like an elite spot to be getting the under here against Orlando. He's gone under this mark in the last game when they played Orlando, only scoring 19 points. He's only gone over this in 4 of 11 games versus Orlando. Again, this Magic defense is one of the best in the entire NBA this year, and it doesn't look like they're getting any weaker at this point in the season, especially coming out of All-Star break. They should be ready to roll. I get it. Trae's been coming off a heater at the second half of the first half of the season. He started to pick it up at the end. He started scoring points. At one point, his lines were at like 21.5 points. I don't think we're going to be far off of that in this game. Orlando looks to make sure he passes the ball, especially right now. No Jalen Johnson, so they're going to try to pressure it out of his hands. He's only hit this in 30. He's only hit over this line 33% of games this year. 17 of 51 games he's hit over this line. So we're obviously favored on the season lines. And again, Orlando is one of the best against opposing point guards. Over the past 7 games this season, Orlando's allowing the 3rd fewest points to opposing point guards. So again, it's just a tough matchup for Trae Young. And this Orlando Magic team allows the fewest, I'm talking the fewest shots beyond the arc to point guards this season. They rank number 1, and that's where 44% of his points come from. So again, he's going to be shut down from beyond the arc. It's going to be tough for him to get 3. So unless he's going to become a free throw merchant this game, I expect him to go under this line once again versus Orlando. So I'm going to lean the under there. I'm not a huge unders, guys. You guys are well aware by now. We are taking the under there. We are going to take the over in that same game on Paolo Banchero. He crushed this line the past 3 games versus the Hawks. We took him the last time he played the Hawks right before All-Star break on the 10th. He had 31 points in that game. I'm expecting him to do a similar thing. This Hawks defense is the 2nd worst in the entire NBA versus opposing power forwards. They allow the 5th most three-pointers made to opposing power forwards, as he had 4 three-pointers made against the Hawks the first time. He's now way favored to go over 1.5 at -150 in most books, and over -160 on other books. So he's clearly favored to go over on his three-pointers line. He's also was at 23.5, obviously got bumped up to 24.5. He was 23.5 when it came out. So again, that's just if you got the lines way earlier this week. But again, we're going to still take him comfortably at 24.5 for +100 on FanDuel. Again, you have great odds there to take him at even money on a line he's been hitting consistently against the Hawks. This Hawks team also fouls power forwards at the 3rd highest rate. So Paolo should be able to get to the line as well. It just complements his game pretty much entirely. If you go to matchups as well, this Hawks team allows the 3rd most points in the restricted area, which is where 33% of his shots come from. They allow the 3rd most points from beyond the arc, which is where 26% of his shots come, and they allow the 8th most points in the mid-range area, which is where 23% of Paolo's shots come from. So again, and the pick-and-roll ball handler, 20% of his points come off a pick-and-roll ball handle, and that's where they rank 2nd worst, the Hawks do, against that. So again, perfect matchups all around. All the numbers point that way. The matchup points that way. The odds point that way. He's only hit this in 2 of his last 10 games. So that's where everyone's going to be like, oh, I'm off him. His last 10 games. I don't care about his last 10 games. I care about the matchup he's going into, where the shots are going to come from, and how the defense is going to look against him. I'm taking Paolo all day. With that being said, we're heading to our last play of the day, and it's probably honestly my favorite play. I know everyone always asks, what's your favorite play? What's the best play? It's probably going to be Victor Wembanyama to go over 34.5 points and rebounds, facing a Phoenix defense that gets absolutely smoked by centers. They allow the 4th most points to centers. They allow the 4th most rebounds to centers. They allow the 4th most field goal attempts to centers. They allow the most offensive rebounds to centers. They allow the 4th most points in the paint to centers. They get killed by centers. The last time these two teams played, Victor Wembanyama went under this line. I get it. That was also in the beginning of December. You can't mark these are not the same teams as the beginning of December. Over the past 10 games, he's hit this in 6 of the last 10. He's also seeing the volume we are looking for. In those last 10 games, he's averaging 18 rebound chances per game, along with he's attempting 18 field goal attempts. So he's having 36 chances practically with the field goal attempts to hit over this mark. I think he easily does it in this game. This team, again, when he faced them the last time, he went 1 for 9 on 3-point attempts. I don't think he goes 1 for 9 against Phoenix on 3-point attempts here as well. He's also hit over this mark in 54% of games this season. Again, now you add De'Aaron Fox, obviously you add in the Chris Paul factor of he's playing this game. So again, Victor Wembanyama feels like an absolute lock to hit this line. I love this spot. Now again, there's no such thing as a lock, so don't fucking come at me for that. I get it. But he's been crushing this mark, as well as he's hit this in 57% of home games. I'm not the biggest home and away difference maker in my eyes, but hypothetically, that's where the numbers lie. He's more likely to hit it in home games. He's been crushing it in home games. His last home game, he had 44 PR, so whatever. But I think 34.5 is just a little bit too low. We're staying in at minus 118, and we're moving on with our lives. And I think it's going to cash again. They allow the 3rd most PR to opposing centers this season. So I'm expecting him to keep crushing it and to be able to easily go over this line. Those are the plays we have for today. Victor Wembanyama over 34.5 PR. We have Trae Young under 28.5 points. We have Tyrese Haliburton under 2.5 3-pointers made. And we have Paolo Banchero over 24.5 points. I did take Joel Embiid under 26.5 points personally. That was a play I was going to have. I have stats and numbers here, but I don't like it anymore. So if you see it on my picket, I'm going to be honest, don't tail it. I don't love it, but I'm trapped into it. It won't let me cash it out. So we're going to ride. If you want to just ride with the boys for the excitement, I don't like the play, but fuck it. We ball. We're here. We live now. Joel Embiid under 26.5 points. It's, don't like it. It's why there's no graphic for it either. But yeah. So if you see that on my picket, and that's going to be why. We don't like the play, but you know, it is what it is. We placed it, and that was a premature place, and now I'm cooked. So we'll see. But those are the plays I have for today. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to let me know what you guys are taking in the comments below. And yeah, outside of that, that should be everything. I'll see you guys for Friday, and have a good day. Peace.